Jyotirgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. May the Divine lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Om. Peace, peace, peace.
This is a prayer to Swami Vivekananda. We bow down to him who broke the bondage barriers between religion. He is ever free from bondage, who came to do good to mankind, showing the way to liberation. He showed the path of service to mankind by worshipping as Shiva. He brought a change, a new way of practicing religion. O the Son of Ramakrishna, fill our heart with love and compassion. The whole world bow down to you million times. धर्म भेद के भंजन हारे, धर्म भेद के भंजन हारे, करता तुमको जगत प्रणाम। राम कृष्ण के वीर दूत को करते हम सब कोटि प्रणाम। धर्म भेद के भंजन हारे, धर्म भेद के भंजन हारे, भवबंधन से सदा मुक्त हो, आए जग कल्याण करन को। भवबंधन से सदा मुक्त हो, आए जग कल्याण करन को। मोक्ष मंत्र के देवन हारे, मोक्ष मंत्र के देवन हारे, करता तुमको जगत प्रणाम। राम कृष्ण के वीर दूत को करते हम सब कोटि प्रणाम। धर्म भेद के भंजन हारे, धर्म भेद के भंजन हारे, धर्म स्थापन करने आए, जीव में शिव के दर्श कराए। धर्म स्थापन करने आए, जीव में शिव के दर्श कराए। कृष्ण के वीर दूत को करते हम सब कोटि प्रणाम। धर्म भेद के भंजन हारे, धर्म भेद के भंजन हारे।
I'm reading from the book, The Monk Without Frontiers, Reminiscences of Swami Ranganathananda. The chapter, My Spiritual Mother, by Ria Kelderman de Ward. The first time I met Swami Ranganathananda was in 1975 at the Tropical Museum in Amsterdam. In the week-long retreat next year, I sat far away, being afraid to come too near. But it seemed to me that he assured that I could trust him by saying, I have got the strength of mother's name. And I wondered how he knew that I had the same name as my mother, not knowing anything about the historic meaning. He spoke about the child calling its mother Mommy, just the way I used to call my mother. He also talked about the granny who played hide and seek with the child, and when the child got tired of the search, the granny lowered the journal so that the child could find her. At the next year's retreat, Ranganathanandaji repeated that story and said that the granny and the child were both happy because they had found each other. Then next year, a line was added. The child thought she had found the granny, but the granny knew that she had let herself to be found. For me, the Swami was my spiritual mother, the one who re-educated me and strengthened me. Maybe that is the reason why I translated his booklet, The Indian Vision of God as Mother, in Dutch. In January 1976, in reply to my letter, he wrote, Vedanta teaches a sunny, cheerful and jestful philosophy and religion in which the God is the self of all, the thread of unity that unites all flowers in a garden, all men and women in a spiritual unity. The more we know this truth and live in its awareness, the more inwardly rich and integrated we are, and more we are able to dig our affection in each other. The life of a husband and a wife in a family will become a heaven of joy and fulfillment, even if a fraction of this truth is assimilated by the two. God, as the inner self of all, is designated as the same Atman or Brahman. Religion, according to Swami Vivekananda and Vedanta philosophy, is the manifestation of the divinity already existing in man. Man is not just a mere physical organism. There is a focus of infinite value in every child. Stimulating that value brings man to feel and experience the capacity and blessing of love, enables him to serve others, and to feel joy in this very life itself and not in the post-mortem heaven. That divine focus in each of you is the true center of human attraction. Its non-recognition is the cause of the present distemper in Western life. Each one of us have a soul, and God is the soul of all souls, the one self in all. Thank Him, seek sustenance from Him, not as something alien to you, but as your own nearest and dearest friend, guide, Lord, and everything. We shall meet when I come next year to Barn and Oosterbeek in September 1976. Come then and bring your good husband also with you. Give a trial once, and if it does not click, don't try again. But I can assure both of you that if you are seekers of truth and not stuck up in worldliness, you will return enriched and will long to go back to it year after year. 15 years ago, when I met him in Hyderabad, he said, I suggest you call yourself Riya Devi and explain that Devi is that being who exists in all persons as mother. In Indonesia, where I was born, the word is Devi. I had never told him that I was born in Indonesia. I hardly ever spoke to him in private. All instructions I received and I picked from his lectures. After his first letter, I indeed went back to the week-long retreat in Netherlands, but I could hardly understand his Indian English. I sat in the back row, afraid of coming close to him. But I remember him saying, if the mountain does not come to Muhammad, Muhammad must go to the mountain. If Swami Ranganathanandiji had been a Roman Catholic priest, I would now be a Roman Catholic devotee. Here is
Now a short period of meditation. Good morning, friends. Swami Sharadananda describes Sri Ramakrishna as Sarvadharma Sthapakastvam Sarvadharma Swarupaka. He has come to establish all the dharmas, all the religions, and he is the embodiment of all religions. So, Sri Ramakrishna taught humanity that ultimate goal in life is our spiritual perfection, called God realization, or becoming a true devotee, or gaining the Brahma Jnana, whatever language it is said. And to achieve that, he said some things that we need to do. He said, renounce the kamini kanchana, the worldliness, and be perfectly truthful in your spirit in your mouth, and your attitude. And he said, have the holy company. And another method, the upasana, he said, is respect all religions, because all religions are true. This harmony of religions, says Sri Ramakrishna, is needed not only to live in the world with so many religions peacefully, but to have development and progress in our own spiritual life. When we live in harmony with other religions, not only with other religions, but with other people, other cultures, then our life for spirituality is strengthened, becomes easier, and we progress in our spiritual life. So, harmony of religions is important as a spiritual practice also. Harmony is a precondition for peace, and peace opens the door to all joy that we all know. And what we see in the world, there is so many variations, differences we see, and for the human beings who have identity, there are so many identities. Some are very strong identities. One identity, we are human beings. Another is the nationalistic identity, I belong to this nation. Gender identity. And one of the very strong identity of human being is the religious identity. I am a Christian, I am a Hindu, I am a Muslim. So this identity we all have somehow got. And the world is full of such identical individuals who have the identity, very strong identity for their religious allegiance. In this world, when there are so many religions and when there are so many identities, it is always very difficult to live all together, and yet we want peace, we want harmony, we want to be able to live in progress, our comfortable life, decent life, and also spiritual progress. So to do that, we have to live in harmony with all. We have to live, though we may have our own religious identity, we have to learn to live with other persons who have their own religious identity. There are so many religions exist in the world. There is no way, we are not islands in one way. So the only way to live in peace and joy is to live and practice harmony of religions. Now the oldest religious sentiment expressed about harmony of religions is perhaps of the Vedas, Rig Veda, Ekam Sad Vipra Bahudha Vadanti. There were not many religions when the Vedas were there. There was only the Sanatana Dharma or Vedika Dharma was there. They say another religion which is very old is Judaism. Other religions came much later. But still the rishis, the sages of Vedas said, Ekam Sad Vipra Bahudha Vadanti. Truth is one. Sages call it by various names. Various names to the truth have been started being given at the time also, only when there was Vedika Dharma. Because there are many individuals who go deeply, think about the truth. When one dives and deeply thinks about the truth, one finds different ways to approach that. And when different ways are found, they say that I approach the truth, some give one name, another give another name, but there was a rishi in the Rig Veda who says, all you say different names. Some say Shasta, some say Gati, some say Brahman, some say Atman, some say other deity. There are so many deities were there in Vedic times. But they say all are actually one reality that is given different names, and that is worshipped and approached with different attitudes. Attitudes are different, paths are different, truth is one. Vedic Rishi said, and that continually truth and more emphatic truth in our present times, when there are so many ways to describe that truth, so many paths to go to that truth. And there have been tussle and friction about describing different religions. Someone said that religious feeling is the deep feeling of the heart. And it is so deep in the core of the heart. It is so subtle and so deep. There cannot be one way to reach there. It has to be many paths that to reach there. So there have to be many religions to express that subtle being, subtle truth that is our own true existence. There has to be many expressions of that, knowing fully, though the expressions are many, but the object is one, the goal is one, the truth is one. So, what is religion? If we look at many ways religion is defined, we find that the term covers so wide an area that virtually anything can be called a religion. There are also varying ideas of what it means to be religious, since every religion has its own book or prophet or supreme authority and is believed to be complete in itself. Sometimes even communications between one religion and other religion becomes difficult or is considered unnecessary. That is where when harmony fails. I am full. I have a book, I have a prophet, I have everything, I can reach the goal. Why do I need to know about other religions? Once I went to Europe and there was a multi-faith meeting. And there were some religious groups that they had put their books and little table set up to preach their own view. I approached one of the table and the person standing there, the person asked me, to which religion you belong? I said, Hinduism. What is that religion? 21st century Europe, modern time, the one who have come for multi-faith meeting, the ones selling books, young aged persons, they don't know about Hinduism. Every fifth person in the world is a Hindu and they don't know about Hinduism at all. Not fault of theirs. Because perhaps they were told, you don't need to know about anything about other religion. Hold on to your own religion and you will get whatever it promises. So like the world still today 21st century is. So how to live in this world when there are so many different kinds of religions and there have been a lack of trying to understand other religions. There is lack of accepting that other religions should exist. There is lack of feeling that all religions together make our humanity or our spiritual awareness more beautiful, more strong. And there is the need for having so many religions because different ideas, so different minds. The human beings all have different minds. There is that's what the democracy says. We have our own ideas. So it should suit me. Not that one Swami Vivekananda says, if we say make one code and it should fit all the human beings of the world, that is not going to fit in that way. Everyone would have their own measurement to fit their code, and that's what about the spirituality also. But it doesn't mean that when there are many codes that all should fight, my code is better than you, my size is better than you. But we need to accept all the codes, all the sizes. Yes, you look great in your code. My code suits me. So as many religions, no problem. But all we should live in harmony. There have been different kinds of approach when there are so many religions. One is the approach that my religion alone is right. Others are no religions at all. They are pseudo-religions. They are false religions. Because if you follow my religion, you will reach the goal that is prescribed, that is promised in my religion. Whether it's going to heaven or getting some good life or having good health, whatever way the religion explains, they are very exclusive in their approach. This is exclusivistic approach when there are in the multi-religious world. And there have been people who are very exclusive in their own way, and they don't want to have any dialogue with others. They won't really accept that there is other religions. We know in the history, not too far away, in 1893, just a few years, more than 100 years. So their Archbishop of Canterbury, England, he refused to participate in the World Parliament of Religions when he knew that there have been people, representatives of different religions, Hindus and the Buddhists and the Zoroastrians, Jains, all Christians of various denominations, all were invited. What he said? He said, there is Christianity and there are many branches. Why you invited so many as giving them the importance as religions? They are not true religions. Only religion is Christianity and its various denominations of Christianity. If you bring those together, I understand it is parliament of religions. You invite so many other ideas which are paganism and Hinduism and Jainism. What are these? So there have been not very far away the people of that idea and holding that high position as the Archbishop of Canterbury. Not very far away. So that is very exclusive because they feel that my religion is complete in itself. Why do I need to think about other religions? Why do I need to know about other religions? All other religions cannot reach where I reach. My religion is the best, it's complete, it is fulfilling. That sort of exclusivistic approach towards religions. When we have that sort of religion, then how can we have the harmony of different religions and religious ideas? So it is very exclusive. I am right and all others are wrong. My way or highway. So that type of approach some people had. Luckily, by the grace of God, such ideas are becoming less and less. Now the present Archbishop of Canterbury, I'm sure, would not have that type of idea. You know how this Vatican is also now becoming so accepting to other ideas, other thought. They accept Judaism, they accept people from other religions. That has coming. The world is now progressing towards accepting and living in harmony with everyone together and in harmony of religious ideas too. That way only we can live in joy and peace and progress in our fields. There have been other religious ideas which is called inclusivistic approach, where people include other religions. Okay, all religions can exist together. But my religion is strong, broad, and super to include all religions. So in my religion, all ideas are found that I am superior and of course I tolerate you. So you also can exist at your place, but you cannot compare with my religion. So seeing oneself to be superior and yet allowing others to exist and recognizing others as religion, not as far and as advanced as my own religion, that is inclusivistic, they include other people, but keeping themselves at the high pedestal. Okay, you come, you are allowed to exist and you are allowed to practice, but you cannot reach as far as I reach. There are many things, many cock and bull stories in your religion and mythology. My mythology alone is right, and yours is someone made something and meaningless things. Like that, saying that I am superior, you are allowed to exist. This is called inclusivistic approach. Some religions, like even in Muslims, they say Muslims accept Judaism and also Christianity. They accept the prophets of Bible, of Old Testament and New Testament. They accept Moses as the prophet and Adam as the prophet and Joseph as the prophet, even Christ as the prophet. But their approach is the modern and most elaborate, most perfect religion is Islam. That has come at the end of that Semitic religion. And then what about Judaism and Christianity? Oh, they are the preparations and Islam is the final. So that is inclusivistic approach. It's about their own Semitic religion. Other religions, they don't accept that way. That is fundamental, their approach. But in modern times, even in Islamic ideas, there are people who are very broad-minded. We have, coming from Islamic, rooted in Islamic religion is Sufism. They accept other religions. And some branches of Islam, like Ismailis and Ahmadiyyas, they accept other religions also. They may be inclusive, but they accept other religions, Hindus and even the Krishna, there might be a prophet like that. And there are something that came out from Islam, like the Baha'i faith. Baha'i, though it was rooted in Islam, the one who founded Baha'i was a Muslim. But he came out so much out of Baha'i, they accepted harmony of religions in a very pluralistic approach. Not that only Islam is right and others are wrong, but I am right and others wrong. They included them in that, yes, this is the way we have to live in harmony with all religions, equal respect with all religions. That's how harmony of religions are practiced. A great, broad-minded approach to truth in Baha'i, which came as the offshoot from Islam. So there are like this thing developing in modern world. How people we are moving from very inclusivistic, from exclusivistic to inclusivistic to pluralistic. There is a third type. Pluralistic will come later on. There is a third type which is called syncretistic, synchronizing religion, where they say there are so many good things in religion. All religions have good points and some not so good points. So why don't we take all the good points of one religion, all religions, and make it a new religion? And that will be the religion for the mankind. That type of approach. So it has been tried in India. The great Mughal king Akbar tried this, and he wrote a book, Deen-e-Ilahi, and he said all these things gathered from Hinduism, from Zoroastrianism, Islam, Christianity. He took some and made his own religion, that this will be the future religion. But in that problem was that you deny the existence of its ancient religions. They have been existing for thousands of years. You want to approach through your brain and intellect your new religion, new approach. What about the sages and the prophets that brought that the words of God that were revealed to them and they gave to mankind? Those are all denied. That's how the synchronistic religion happened. That also could not flourish. It did something good for Akbar. During his time, there was harmony and progress in India that happened. But it was also failed because the existence of religions for thousands of years, that was not given importance, that was not recognized. And it tried to displace that with a new religion, having a mixture of all religions. And mixture of religion made by human being in that way, without divine command, is difficult to exist and difficult to remain. The flow of religion that comes, and it has many good things. Whether you say there are great prophets, say Muhammad, Guru Nanak, and our rishis in Vedanta, the Jesus, the Moses, Zoroaster, all these great prophets, what life they had led and what they were revealed to them. So when they give the message, it is not their message, it is the message of God that flows to them. And someone great thinker or some great person who wants to make the society more peaceful just by thinking of intellectually trying to give some religion like a synchronistic approach, it doesn't last long. That to last a religion, there have to be some force, some spiritual force when it begins. So there has to be that, and it is all denied in synchronistic approach in religion. So that's how the last one is the pluralistic approach. Pluralistic approach is the one which we would like to say say harmony of religions. This is the approach that Ramakrishna Order also says, in that every religion is accepted and said that it should exist Every religion should exist, but exist with harmony with each other. No conflict and no fight with each other. And everyone should have the freedom to practice its own tenets, its own way of worship, its own faith, its own religion, every individual, and progress in your own way. And Sri Ramakrishna was the one who said that all religions are true. As the Rishi of the Vedas, Rig Veda said, all religions are true, all are trying to reach the same goal, but taking different paths and saying different name to the goal. And we fight in the path and for the goal. And he gave the example of a water reservoir, a pond, where one goes through different path, different approach, from east side, from west side, from north, from south, a different path, and there is the water. And the water also is given different name. Some say water, some say aqua, some say jal, some say pani. But it is the same thing. Names are different. And the path, eastern side or western side, paths are different. But we reach the same goal. So we live in harmony. Let us stick to our path. Let us stick to our own name of the truth. But knowing fully that we are reaching to same goal. We are not contradictory or some enemy to each other. We all will reach if we truly and sincerely follow our path. This is pluralistic religion. In pluralistic religion, there are how to live. There have been many ideas that said in this pluralistic society, when many religions will live together. Some are they very much respect for this pluralistic idea, like Canada, India, US. Many countries, even the Britain, all they have great respect for pluralistic society. There is no discrimination on the basis of any religious identity or following of religion. People have freedom to worship the way they like. A great idea of pluralistic society. Now, how to maintain this pluralistic society? That is the problem. One to that, they say what is non-committal approach. That you don't exhibit your religious identity in public, but do it at your home or in the private, and leave, don't have any show of your religious identity. And that's how they want to say. By that, nobody will talk about religion, nobody will be doing anything about religious prayer when you are in a group, but it is a very private affair. So that way, there will be no conflict. The problem comes here that if that is the thing, then what about prayers in the school? Are they good or bad? So remove all the prayers. So because there is one type of prayer will be there. So this has all been the difficulties in this non-committal approach. How much to do and how much not to do. The state, the government and the religion are separated. But they cannot be totally separated. They have to, government has to respect the religions, and to respect religions, how much to accept and how much to give them freedom. Removing the prayer from the schools because there is prayer from some book, it was there. So that is not the real harmony. Even if it is in a book of one religion, why can't we consider all books of religions are our books? One is developed in Arabia, another developed in Israel, another developed on the bank of Saraswati in India. All are the human beings' common property. All the wisdom that has come to us through ages is the common property of humanity. And we can accept from anywhere the best thing that is taught. The wonderful prayers in the Bible or in the Vedas. So, but some will say, some will object, it is not in my book, so I will not recite that. That's how we ended up not saying Merry Christmas, and we say Happy Holidays. What is harm in saying Merry Christmas? Christmas is a celebration, it belongs to Christians, but that doesn't bar a non-Christian to celebrate Christmas. What about Japan? I asked a person in Japan, how many religions are here? What is the main religion? It's Buddhism or Shintoism? They said, no, here when person is born, they go to Buddhist temples. So, Buddhism, when birth and death, that is Buddhism. When there are wedding and other ceremony, they become Shinto. Whole population, they go to Shinto temple and pray there, and wedding is done there. And when they die, they go to Buddhist temple. And when Christmas, all are like Christians. Whole Japan celebrates Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, as if the whole Japan is Christian. So why not to celebrate the joy of any religion we can celebrate? Why to say it belongs only to Muslims and only to Sikhs and only to Hindus or only to Christians or Jews? We can celebrate any religion as the religion of humanity. When humanity respects something, enjoys some celebration, that is the part of humanity. Can't we be connected with the whole humanity as a whole? That is the approach of pluralistic approach of religion. So there is another way in the pluralistic society to say, okay, we don't exhibit your personal religion in society or in office or school, but let us have dialogues with each other. So don't say my religion alone is true, but go with open heart and start talking with other religious groups, multi-religious dialogues. And whatever is good in them, accept that and be open-minded. So it is like that. No, but that dialogue, this approach of dialogue, also dialogic approach also, that makes less faith in your own true religion. And Sri Ramakrishna saying, or the saying of our great teachers is that Ishta Nishtha, or your faith in your own religion. If you have no depth of faith in your own religion, it is very unlikely you will accept the good things from other religions. When you are well established in your faith, then you can accept the things that is in other religions. Otherwise you just float, you are not stable at all. So this dialogic approach also has that problem, just to do that, talk with each other and accept others and take only after talking to each other, be open. But you don't have your own idea of how to approach the truth, how to practice the spirituality to really realize what is the way to go deeper in my own path. Just talk and intellectual. It will be, the religion will be just like to live in harmony with the people without going deeper into that. So that also fails the purpose of religion. The purpose of religion is to realize God, as Sri Ramakrishna said, and that is the purpose of not only religion. That is the purpose of being born as a human being. So to get to that purpose, we should have deep faith in our own religion that we practice. Tulsi Das said very nicely. He said, "Haji haji karte rahiye, baithe apna tham. Sabse miliye, sabse rasiye, sabse basiye, sabka lijiye naam. Haji haji karte rahiye, baithe apna tham." Mix with all, talk with everyone, with all people, and say, yes, that is good. I appreciate your ideas, and be friendly to all. But be stable in your own position. Sri Ramakrishna says, Ishta Nishtha, have faith in your own Ishta. All gods are the forms of God, same divine being. God has become all different deities. God has become whole humanity. But you have faith for your own Ishta. And gives the example, in family, there is husband, there is husband's elder brother, husband's father, husband's younger brother, sister. But the wives, newly married wives, this bride's relationship with her husband is totally different from relationship with others. It is very deep, intimate. That should be the relationship with your Ishta, the ideal that you have chosen to make you develop spiritually. So with Ishta Nishtha and respecting all religions, we can practice harmonious approach to all religions. So let us see what is harmonious approach. This approach of a pluralistic view, this approach has the unique advantage of fulfilling the aspirations of all concerned without destroying anyone's innate faith. The harmonious approach respects religious diversity. It appreciates the special identity of every religion and finds a way through which all religions can join hands to celebrate the diversity while simultaneously recognizing the unity that brings them together. The harmonious approach thus has the potential to produce not only collective peace but also individual growth and maturity. That is the aim of religion, individual growth and maturity in spiritual life, and together with collective peace. The harmonious approach is based on the following three principles. All religions have the same ultimate purpose, namely transcendence. Everything else is secondary. Stripped of all theological trappings, every religion aims to transcend human limitations, to contact the reality beyond, the transcendent reality. That has to be accepted first, that we have to go beyond the senses, beyond the sense perceptible universe, and try to realize the truth, which is not the material truth. Second principle of harmonious approach. There is only one transcendent, ultimate reality, which is known by various names, which may be perceived as having various attributes, and which manifests in various forms or as formless. Sri Ramakrishna told when Yam came, do you believe in God with form or without form? Yam had studied logic, very intelligent, very well-read person, headmaster of his school. Not just headmaster, he was very erudite. He had read the philosophy of different Western philosophy, Indian philosophy, very erudite. He says, what is he saying? Do you believe in God with form or without form? How can God have both attitudes? If he is with form, how can we be without form? If he is without form, how can we approach him at form? So that was the dilemma of Yam when he met Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna always emphasized with the people he asked, do you believe in God with form or without form? Yam also replied, sir, I like to think of God as formless, without form. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, you are right, you can do that. Hold on to that idea to accept God without form. But don't have the view that God can exist only without form and God cannot be with form. Don't have that idea. Don't limit the God, that God has to be only formless. God is limitless. Don't make a condition to God. God, Ishwarer iti kora jaya na. You cannot say God is this much and not that. It can be anything. From that idea comes harmony. That idea comes acceptance of all ways. The third principle for this harmonious approach is the ultimate reality can be attained through various ways developed by the world religions. Every religion has the inherent power to take its followers to the supreme consummation of human life. So, faith in all religions, goal as the transcendent reality, and transcendent reality can be expressed in many ways. These three principles, if followed, we can practice harmony of religion. In practical terms, these three principles mean that the world's religions are not contradictory or antagonistic to one another, but complementary. No one need change one's religion for another or persuade others to change their religion for one's own. Every religion is equally true and authentic. It makes conversion and all those things, totally unnecessary thing. One can stand in his own religion and then practice and harmony with all other religions. Saying that all religions are equally true and authentic does not, of course, mean that all religions are the same or that differences are merely superficial. Every religion has a bent, a characteristic feature, a unique trait. For instance, the dominant characteristic of Islam is its spirit of equality and brotherhood. Of Buddhism, its emphasis on tradition and the importance of family. Of Christianity, the love and sacrifice exemplified by Christ. Of Buddhism, its stress on renunciation, compassion, and rationality. Of Hinduism, its principle of the basic unity of the universe in consciousness, its insistence on the need for direct mystical experience, and its spirit of acceptance of views different from its own. How beautifully described here by some author that describes about the harmony of religions and great qualities of all religions that they are, how acceptable they are, and if we accept all that, how rich spiritually we become when we live in so much harmony. Respect for all religions by just knowing this basic principle of other religions that we come. Islam believes in equality of all its members without any distinction. Judaism loves the traditions and the family values. Christianity sacrifice and love for every members, and Hinduism for transcendence, and Buddhism for renunciation, compassion, and fellow feeling, sympathy, and rationality. With this, we tend to love all religions. If we could little know the basic of religions, harmony is practiced so easily by all of us. So we need to know the gist of religion. There might be difference. There might be emphasis on something else. Every religion has something to give. Swami Vivekananda, that's why said, the future of India is the Islamic body and Vedantic brain. What does it mean? There should be equality in society. And there should be high thinking of the reality that you want to reach that transcendental reality that Vedanta can think. And the Islamic equality, whether there is a beggar or a king, all will go to the prayer in the same way, kneel down in the same way, sit side by side. So that all this house social equality and spiritual great intellectual inquiry, all that can come together, then will be the ideal society. He said at one other place that science and spirituality, religion, should shake hands. Both should come together to make the humanity a wonderful place. Ramakrishna, a 19th century Indian saint, is perhaps the best known symbol of the harmonious approach. Both through his life and teachings, he showed that it is possible to remain faithful to one's own faith while opening one's heart to the inspiration that comes from other faiths. It is possible to be aware of the harmony underlying all religions, but maintain a special relationship with one's own. That is Istadista is talking about. The harmonious approach teaches us that my religion doesn't become greater if it is accompanied by hatred for all others. When true love awakens in the heart, it doesn't leave any room for hatred. The two can never stay together. It is possible for us all to live together in the global family of religions with mutual sharing, love and cooperation. At some point, we may all come to realize that the different religious traditions or levels such as Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism and Hinduism are really walls dividing the total religious consciousness of humanity. These walls are necessary, for they do have their utility. Ramakrishna explains this with the example of a hedge to protect a tender growing plant from stray cattle. Once the plant grows up into a sturdy tree, the hedge is no longer necessary. In fact, it could even be a hindrance. Similarly, religious traditions protect a person from negative influences. Soon, however, the person must evolve and outgrow the necessity of this confinement. Beyond the walls separating one religion from another lies the realm of religion without frontiers, the limitless expanse of the religion beyond all religions, the religion with a capital R. Swami Vivekananda says that one eternal religion is applied to different planes of existence, is applied to the opinions of various minds and various races. There never was my religion or yours, my national religion or your national religion. There never existed many religions. There is only the one. One infinite religion existed all through eternity and will ever exist. And this religion is expressing itself in various countries in various ways. All religions are expressions of the religion beyond religions. Every religion is true and authentic, and they all have a thread of harmony connecting them. This thread can be discovered, and the underlying harmony can be experienced by truly religious people. Swami Vivekananda continues, true religion is not talk or doctrines, nor is it sectarianism. It is the relation between soul and God. Religion does not exist in erecting temples or building churches or attending public worship. It is not to be found in books or in words or in lectures or in organizations. Religion consists in realization. We must realize God, feel God, see God, talk to God. That is religion. Doctrines, dogmas, rituals, books, temples, churches are important and have their utility. But they are only secondary details of religion. The primary aspect of religion are the supersensuous experience of God, and our efforts to get this experience and to live by the implication of our relationship with God. Thus, religion is not a bunch of dogmas or beliefs to be accepted on faith, but an active search for one's own spiritual roots, which culminates in the direct experience of God. That is what Swamiji said, and he said, I accept all religions that were in the past and worship with them all. I worship God with every one of them, in whatever form they worship Him. Is God's book finished? Or is it still a continuous revelation going on? It is a marvelous book, the spiritual revelations of the world, the Bible, the Vedas, the Quran, and all other sacred books are but so many pages, and an infinite number of pages remain yet to be unfolded. I would leave it to open for all of them. We stand in the present, but open ourselves to the infinite future. We take in all that has been in the past, enjoy the light of the present, and open every window of the heart for all that will come in the future. Salutations to all the prophets of the past, to all the great ones of the present, and to all that are to come in the future. That's how harmony of religions, if practiced well, we can practice spirituality. If we are not harmonious in our approach to religions, and we don't accept others as they are, and we don't respect other religions as a valid path to the goal that their religion has produced, the valid path to reach their ultimate goal according to their teachings, and respect them, then we'll fail in our own spiritual practice, because there will be no love left, and heart, when we become spiritual, will become so broad that it will be able to accommodate the whole humanity in embrace. Swami Vivekananda at one time says, do you ever feel stretching your arms and try to embrace the whole universe in your arms? You have felt like that, to be one with the universe, to like to hug the whole universe, whole humanity. You have approached closer to God. You are moving towards God. You are progressing spiritually. You are accepting the fact that harmony of religions is necessary for our spiritual progress and for the peace and joy of this world.